Hello, it is Saturday, July 25th, and we're here with the Nosebleed crew to bring you a weekly recap what happened this past week in sports as best we can. So we'll go ahead and start it right off with the Washington football team. So Washington decided to do a temporary name for the 2020 season, and they're sticking with this for the 2020 season because they're going to have merch available coming in the coming days. So look out for that. Get your football team merchandise. So I mean, it's just tough. How ridiculous is it that they could not even come up with a name? I know so the article, they wanted to do it right, make the right, decisions and, get it right to establish another dynasty. But boy, it's a tough look for the Redskins here. What do you guys think? Or the Washington football team, sorry.
Yeah, I mean, what else are they doing? Why is it taking them so long? Like, why can't they all be in a room and be like, we're not leaving until we have something to at least do? But I'm never surprised with what this terrible organization does. So no shocker to me.
Yeah, I'm blown away that we're actually still talking about the same team now 2 weeks in a row. And I think my suggestion last week of being the potatoes is better than being the football team at this point. This has been a controversial thing that's been going on for like a couple seasons now. Like the public has been spouting out to rename this football team. Why haven't they planned for this? Yeah, like why haven't they planned for this? Like, hey guys, like eventually we're gonna have to pull the trigger on this name change. Let's get ready so we're not the Washington football team.
You're right. The Washington Red Potatoes do have a better ring to it than that. Yeah, they're removing their logo obviously, and they're just going to put the numbers on the helmet and keep the same colors. Man, it's just I talked about it last week. Like, how much longer do we got to talk about this football team? But here we are talking about it another week later with just a worse look than last week for them. So, all right. Anyway, in other news in the NFL, Tyreek Hill. He predicts the Chiefs will win 7 Super Bowls, or at least that's what he's after. But the predict was his verbiage there. So, Gibby, what are your thoughts on Cheetah's humble prediction of beating Jordan's 6 rings and getting 7?
I think people who like make it to the NFL and stuff, their mindset is just different. Like they have to have that mindset. Their whole life they're told, the impossible odds of making the NFL, the impossible odds of getting a scholarship. So, like, just having that mindset is the reason why Tyreek is one of the best wide receivers in the NFL. To us, it's going to sound crazy because, like, the odds of that happening are slim to none. But these guys have been battling odds their whole life. And Tom Brady tweeted him out and said, yeah, man, me too. I mean, he's a lot closer than Tyreek to getting 7. But I think that's just kind of their mindset. It's nuts to say, but, hey, if it gets the man fired up to play this year after winning a ring, I'm down with it.
Yeah, I mean, definitely riding that Super Bowl high, too. I mean, you got to be feeling yourself, obviously.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Cheech, you have any thoughts on that, or are you just same?
No, yeah, I mean, kind of the same. I mean, obviously it's absurd to think of any team winning 7 championships, but the Chiefs are built to win now. I don't know if they have 7 years of contracts in them, but
Tyreek will probably not be on that team in 7 years.
Hey, yeah. You never know. Maybe he takes a veteran-friendly deal at that point. I mean, I don't see it, but
he will not.
No. All right, so the MLB kicked off last night, so that was kind of cool to watch. I've kind of bashed baseball in a few episodes, but it was really cool to actually see a team play like a big 3 in America: baseball, football, basketball, sport that was actually regular season. It counted towards something. There were no fans in the stands. They had like the Yankees.
The
LA game. They had the cardboard people.
Cardboard.
Yep. So they were like they're paying or they're having people pay to have their face in the stand. Like as low as like $50 in certain places or something like that. I think behind home plate is probably a few hundred. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But that's still so crazy. Like you're paying for a cardboard cutout.
How brilliant is it though? Like to get that revenue generation from somewhere from your fans still in a time where you expect to get $0, so might as well, think of something. I just thought that was kind of funny. And I mean, even my wife, she was like, what what is going on there? Like, is this real? She thought it was like a movie or something because I mean, it just, I don't know. But yeah. Anyway, the season started. The very first game of the season gets cut off with a rain delay. I mean, 2020 in a nutshell in that game. Those were your boys. Cheech, I don't know if you got to see any highlights. What'd you think of your team?
The Yankees look amazing. That 4-1 bet that Gibby offered me looked even better after seeing the highlights from that game last night, man. I'm riding the Yankees high, real high right now. A lot of our fans don't know. Last year, before the playoffs started, I put up $1,000 bet on the Yankees winning the World Series, and that obviously didn't pan out for me. I'm a big Yankees fan, big believer. They're gonna do it this year, man. This is the Yankees' year.
All right.
Yeah. I think Garrett Cole pitched very, very good, but Scherzer looked good too. But since he played the Yankees, I mean, the man had 11 strikeouts in 5 innings. That's like nothing to sneeze at. Like, that's a really good outing.
Yeah.
But whenever Carlos Stanton's at the plate and he's just looked like a freaking animal up there. I didn't stay up to watch the Dodgers snooze fest game, but I did catch highlights. Man, it looks like the Yankees and Dodgers could really just run this whole season over.
Yeah, I mean, old Stanton, I've kind of fell off the wayside with baseball, but they were saying that this whole no fans thing, for whatever reason, will help him out a lot this year. So keep our eyes on that for sure. They did look good, though. I did watch the Yankees game before it got rained out. They looked damn good.
Yeah.
But
they got some heavy bats on that team too.
Absolutely. Sticking with the MLB, they expanded their playoff system to 16 teams. That's 2 more than the 14 teams they had previous. That means more than half of the league will be in the postseason. So, yeah, it's pretty much the first round of the playoffs in each league will be 4 3-game series with all their games played at the higher seeds home stadium. The rest of the rounds will be like the regular length 2 division series will be 5, and the AL and NL championship series with the World Series will be 7. So, you guys happy with that or not?
Yeah, I'm cool with it because, I mean, they're trying to get any revenue they can. So any extra games with like bigger TV audiences or anything like that is going to be huge for baseball. So, yeah, sure. As long as it's a 1-year deal, I don't want them to pay 161 games and have 16 teams in the playoffs.
Yeah, and it was like a unanimous vote for this year too. So everybody's just looking for a way to get money. So
That's just going to be another record for the Yankees right there. Bam! First team to survive the 16-team playoffs. New York Yankees, 2020 World Series champions. Whatever you're in, yeah.
COVID World Series champions. All right, so we'll go towards the NFL again. So there's 2 more teams that have came out. Granted, they do play in the same stadium, so that obviously has everything to do with this. But the Jets and Giants will be playing games in front of 0 fans as well. And the NFL has also made it mandatory to wear masks if they do have fans that are allowed. So your thoughts on this?
I think it's pretty obvious that that's the direction we're going. I mean, America is just an absolute shit show right now, all over the place. So I think that more teams just need to pull the trigger right now and just say, hey, no fans. Because, I mean, states are still going up. Florida just hit like a high, like an all-time high. Florida's averaging 100,000 cases every 10 days right now. So, like, America is just a dumpster fire. Every team just needs to say, hey, we're not having fans.
Yeah, just put it out there so everyone knows what to expect. Players know what to expect. The NFL can kind of watch baseball and basketball coming up and just adjust, So, but yeah, we'll stick with NFL and the Jets, man. Cheech, your boys. Jets owner Woody Johnson comes off as a sexist and a racist. He's saying black athletes don't have father figures. He's saying he hires women because they're cheaper and they work harder. This is a terrible look for an organization that already has a terrible reputation in the past few years. And that's not even all of what we're going to discuss about the Jets. So,
I mean, and like the problem is that like this is the owner of the team. Like Jamal Adams, the star on this football team, is calling out the owner of the team. You don't fire the owner. There is no replacing the owner. Woody Johnson can be hated by the world, can be the biggest racist, sexist, whatever in the world. He still owns the football team. There's absolutely nothing they can do. Like, what are they going to try and pressure this 77-year-old into selling his football team? I don't think so. That's not going to happen. His comments were obviously ridiculous. And an absolute embarrassment for the Jets. But I mean, I just have no idea what to do, because usually like if a GM is racist, or like a coach or a player or whatever, anybody at those levels is expendable. But what do you do with the owner? I don't know.
I mean, yeah. And then to add to that, Jamal Adams is going off and saying Adam Gase, terrible leader of men, piss poor coach, pretty much things we already knew, but he's just trying to add fuel to the fire, man. He's just trying to get the hell out of there. He's already demanded for a trade. He's trying to get the fuck out. It's like pronto. So
yeah,
bad
our
look.
fans know I'm not a fan of Adam Gase either. I've roasted that man before. He just makes terrible decisions, and I knew going into the season, I know that Jamal Adams won't be a Jet next season. So
he won't play. I mean, he just won't play. I don't think so.
Yeah.
Anyway, all right. Well, we'll kind of go to hockey now. NHL has added a new franchise. I know we're going to be doing a hockey episode here very, very soon. But the Seattle Kraken, new logo with the cool little S and little red fiery eyes and the blue, and I think it's pretty cool. I do love the name. I really do, man. If I wasn't already a dedicated Yotes fan, I would be all aboard. As my Seattle Dragons were real bad before that the XFL was taken out of commission. But they'll be joining the league in 2021. What do you guys think about this?
Yeah, I think the Seattle Kraken is a lot better than the Seattle Sea Lions, the Seattle Seals, or the Seattle Evergreens.
Or the Seattle hockey team.
Or the Seattle hockey team. So they're already better than a franchise that's been around for a long time. I like their jerseys a lot too. I think it looks cool. And if you all notice, like with the Las Vegas Knights, like the NHL is going to do everything they can to make this team competitive early. So if you're in the northeast part of the country, man, really get excited, because I think this Seattle team is going to be competitive right off the bat, because the NHL makes the rules for everything for the expansion draft. They're going to be competitive.
Yeah, I mean, look at like the Vegas Golden Knights rolled into the NHL just absolutely on fire. I think that, yeah, like you said, out of the expansion draft, Seattle's going to have a pretty gnarly team, and I'm excited, man. I'm glad that they're not in the East. I'm just glad that the NHL keeps adding expansion teams to the Western Conference, because I don't need any more competition in the East.
Big facts.
All right, so University of Kentucky, the other team in Kentucky, has called for Rupp Arena to be renamed and have Adolph Rupp's name completely erased from the team. It's been called Rupp Arena for like 50, I don't know. But turns out, no surprise with a name like Adolph Rupp, big old racist. Coach from 1930 and 1972 in the Basketball Hall of Fame, all that crap. He died in 1977. What do you guys think about this? If you do think anything about it, I would love to bash him, but I won't, because what do you guys think?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know a whole lot about the situation, but like if he was a racist or whatever, then yeah, like take it down. It doesn't matter how long it's been there or whatever. Like, no, I'm not going to get political, but if he was a douchebag, then he was a stooge, change the name.
Yeah, so he didn't recruit a black basketball player until 1969. So that's 39 years after he started coaching. And granted, times were different back then, obviously, but he got his ass whooped in a national championship to like Texas Western by an all-black starting five with his all-white team. And then 3 years later, he recruited a black dude. So, I mean,
so not to play devil's advocate here, because I did a little like historical research on this man. And so bigbluehistory.net, literally the first line of this website is Adolph Rupp was the biggest racist on the planet. But later on in the article, it goes on to talk about how he attempted to recruit black athletes to come to the University of Kentucky. However, at this time, the entire SEC was like basically all white. All those schools were against integration of African Americans into the sports and into the academic environment. So he'd been coaching for about 35 years before he first started trying to recruit African American athletes, before he actually got one in 1969. But like players were just like refusing to go there because the South sucks, and they're just a bunch of racist fucks. So And
Yeah, just
he,
to
I mean,
watch
he was
Glory
a
Road.
product of the system. Yeah.
All right. Anyway, Mike Tyson, 54-year-old, returning to the ring to fight Roy Jones Jr., who is also in his 50s, but he last fought a little more recently in 2018. What do you guys think? Does he get the win right here, Iron Mike?
I'm going Roy Jones, but I was looking at the bets because I was thinking because with everyone knows Mike Tyson loves Mike Tyson. Roy Jones Jr. was a bad mofo, man. That dude was cocky, everything, and he's been staying in shape his whole life. So I was hoping that he would be the underdog, but he's actually the favorite. So you're probably not going to make any much money betting on Roy Jones Jr. I think that's just because Vegas wants everyone to put their money on Mike Tyson. I think they think Roy Jones Jr. is going to win. I don't think it's going to be that exciting to watch. Like, it's going to be cool just from a historic standpoint, but these guys are 50 years old. So,
and it's just an exhibition match too. Like, it's
Yeah, like this isn't a fight that's going 12 rounds. But I mean, have you seen Mike Tyson, like how in shape he is right now, and just the videos of him training? Like, I want to take a punch from him just to see like if I'm knocked out right away, or if I go to the ground but like I'm still conscious. Like, I would love to see like what a punch from Mike Tyson would do to my brain.
Yeah. I mean, it's going to get a lot of views. They're going to make a lot of money off of it. So, all right. Anyway,
I'll put money on Mike Tyson.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's
really.
Yeah, if you got Roy Jones, I'll take Mike.
Let's go.
$50.
Nosebleed bet.
All right, that's what I'm talking about.
Hashtag nosebleed bet. All right. So Antonio Brown wants the NFL to hurry up and wrap up all his investigations so he can play again. It comes a day or two after he, hinted at his retirement again. Just real quick, do you guys think he plays this year, or for that matter, ever again in the NFL?
I hope so, because he's super talented, man. Like, we talked about it. I don't remember what episode last weekend, but we talked about how the NFL just keeps giving people second chances. And I don't know like the details of his case or whatever, but if it comes out and the NFL lets him play and he misses 8 or 10 games, like, that's fine. I would love to see this guy back on a football field.
Yeah.
I just don't know if any teams are taking him. Like,
I think
with all that drama, and then even like he could say all day that the drama's behind him, but you never know with him. So I don't see any football teams signing him.
Yeah, I hope not. He's been working out for some teams that I would rather not see him on.
Seahawks.
Yeah. All right, Mahomes. Chris Jones has, kind of told him that Mahomes left money on the table for him, which is, great teammate, great guy, $500 million deal. But like, how much do you think the Chiefs were willing to pay this guy if he left money on the table for another guy to sign so he could stay there? Like was he like 600 million? I mean, how much? I don't know. Like, what do you guys think?
I'm gonna call bullshit on Mahomes because 2 years of the 4-year deal, it's not even part of his new contract, so he had nothing to do with that. He's still in his rookie contract, like we talked about, and his 5th-year option. Then he starts his contract, and then he wasn't like, oh, let's make sure we get a guy on the other side of the ball. Maybe if he was like, oh, I left money on the table for my left tackle, but he's already locked up for a while. But bullshit, Patrick. Bullshit.
Yeah, I just don't believe it either. I mean, like, it's already a $500 million deal. Like,
they're not paying more than that.
Yeah. Why would they offer him more? All the homes had to do is walk into their office and they'd be like, hey, yeah, here's $500 million to throw some pigskin for the next 10 years. Like, do you think they're like, hey, here's $600 million? Mahomes like, no, I'll just take 5.
No, actually, we want Chris Jones, so I'll take 500. Let's go.
Yeah.
No, that didn't happen. His agent wouldn't let that happen.
Yeah.
It's fair enough. All right, last topic real quick. Mookie Betts just signed a 12-year, $365 million contract extension with the Dodgers. That's a lot of money, a little quick math. So over the next 12 years, he's going to be making $198,154.18 every single game. $200,000 a game. That's a lot of money. I mean, it's baseball. They sign long contracts and all that. But, I mean, the dude's, I think he's 27, I saw. So by the time this is done, he'll be 39. I know you can be a little more resilient in baseball, but it's not like he's like a first baseman or anything. I don't know. What do you guys think about this, if anything at all?
Well, I think they had to pay him because that's why the Red Sox had to get rid of him because they offered him a deal close to this and he said nah. So the Dodgers, when they acquired him, they knew that this was part of the deal. Like the trade was a great trade for the Dodgers, but they knew they were going to have to pay a lot of money, and I think he's worth it. I mean, he's averaging 94 RBIs a season, 74 walks a season, 27 home runs, and he's hitting over 300. And a couple years ago, his batting average was insane. So whenever you make a trade like this, it's kind of part of the trade is knowing that you're going to lose a lot of money. And it's LA. They don't have a salary cap, so they'll be fine.
Yeah, I mean, fuck Mookie Betts, first of all. Second of all, I mean, like look at the two teams he's played for, the Red Sox and the Dodgers. Like, obviously, I hate him as a Yankees fan. But, yeah, I mean, like, the dude's a solid ball player. He gets on base, and he's got a glove in the field. So he deserves every penny of that money, even if they are paying until he's almost 40 years old. But fuck Mookie Betts.
All right, well, that's been our Nosebleed weekly recap. Thanks for joining us, guys. We'll be back with another guest and some more wide receiver fantasy rankings.